Hello, my name is Marcia Johnson, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. Together with my grandnieces and nephews, Allie, Ashley, and Ryan, we are Marcia's Crafts. And today we're going to make this lovely Oh So Eclectic card. I'm still making cards with the stamp sets that are retiring. I'm just trying to use them all before they go away. And this is another lovely one. Okay, you will need the Oh So Eclectic stamp set. You'll need, well, in the stamp set we'll be using the You're Just Lovely, this image, and this image. And the Eclectic Layers Thinlits, and we'll be using the flower, this one, the leaves, and this image. Okay, let's get going. First thing, we'll be doing some stamping. Oh, I also forgot to tell you, we'll be using VersaMark ink and Night of Navy ink. We'll also be doing some embossing, so that'll be fun. Okay, things we're going to stamp. First, the things we're going to stamp with the Night of Navy ink. Just our sentiment and the outside of our envelope. I think that's it. So let's get going with that. Just the You're So Lovely. And we'll just stamp it on this little piece here. There we go. You're Just Lovely. Okay, and that's going to go on that later. And then just for the envelope, I'm going to use this sort of patterned leaf. And I'm just going to stamp it down here, just like this. Okay, there's our envelope. Oh, by the way, stay tuned to the end, and I will show you another card that just requires the Night of Navy ink and paper, and if you have them, the dies, but you probably could get by without even using the dies for that card. So I think it's quite nice, and it requires a little less work, so stay tuned for that. Anyway, next thing, we're going to do some embossing. I'm going to bring in this Night of Navy piece. We're going to bring in our Embossing Buddy. This prevents static and getting the embossing powder places you don't want it to be. So just go over your whole piece of paper with that. I'm going to bring in our VersaMark ink, and I'm going to do 3 of the flower images. As usual, the supplies and dimensions will be listed below the video. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to need one of these. That's Romeo pitter-pattering his way in here. I don't know why. He apparently likes to come in when I'm doing a video, and his little nails on the floor make a lot of noise. We'll do one of these leaves over here. And then we're also going to be cutting out 2 more of the leaves with just the blue cardstock. So bring in the embossing powder, copper, and I use a coffee filter to catch my residue. You can see I rocked my stamp a little bit there, but it doesn't matter because we're going to be cutting this out anyway. Let's put the rest of our embossing powder back in. Put the coffee filter back in too. Get that out of the way. And we'll bring in our trusty board and our heat tool. The nice thing about the board is you don't burn your fingers. This heat tool is hot. We'll let it heat up for a little bit and watch the magic of embossing. I really love the color combination of copper, the shiny copper with the Night of Navy. I think that's really beautiful. Okay, now we're also going to bring in a piece of our, well, let me just bring in all of our pieces. We have the Night of Navy card base. We're going to put down a layer of copper and one of the Very Vanilla on the inside. Then on the front, we're going to put copper and Very Vanilla. But this one, we are going to cut out with this die, sort of towards the left and in the middle. We're going to cut these out. We're going to cut 2 leaves by themselves out of the cardstock. We'll cut this leaf. We'll do 3 of these flowers, and I find the easiest way is to look for the little indent there, and it lines up very easily once you find that. And then we have one of these, and I'll be right back. And through the miracle of YouTube, here are our pieces cut out already. And I've already also cut this down just a little bit, so ready for that too. I've got more than I need here, but ready to start assembling. And I'm going to do this with Tombow. So as usual, let's do the inside first. First, we'll put down that layer of copper. Then our Very Vanilla. And that copper is very slippery, so be sure you hold your Very Vanilla in place for a little bit to get it to stay exactly where you want it to. Okay, then I'm going to take that leaf that we did, and I'm going to put some glue on the back. Not too much, doesn't need much. And I'm going to put it down here to decorate our inside. Okay, then for the front of the card, put down our copper layer. Next, our Very Vanilla layer. And again, just hold it there for a little while, exactly where you want it. Okay, and then I'm going to take, actually, first card I actually was going to stamp this right here, and I think that looks really nice too. But I don't seem to be able to stamp that straight, because I think that would look lovely just there, but I sort of had to cover it up, and then I kind of like the way it looks, so that's the way I'm doing it, because it's just easier for me. So we'll just stick our sentiment on here, and then I'm putting that down flat up in the corner. Okay, then I just arrange my flowers. I want one kind of coming, or my leaves coming up there, and another one coming out kind of down here. I want this flower coming out that, and then the other three, 2 flat and 1 raised. So go ahead and put the leaves down first. Again, you don't need a ton of glue. And we'll put this one right out there. This one here. And the third one on a dimensional, maybe 2. Just like that. And there's our card. To finish it up, I painted some pearls with our Stampin' Blend's Dark Night of Navy marker. And I'm going to just put those on the front. One over here, and one up here. And there's our card. So here's this card, and here's our original. And then, as promised, let me bring out one that I did just using the ink and no embossing. I did one similar, but like I said, you don't have to emboss for this one. Just using the Very Vanilla and the Night of Navy. And the cool thing about these images is, let me show you. It looks like, because they are rubber, it looks like they would be difficult to do, but I'll just show you the big flower, and it's not hard at all. I'll bring in a sheet of paper here, and let me get another block. Here's just some Very Vanilla cardstock, and I actually did them 2 ways. I did them one full strength and one stamped off. So let's do that. So then here's full strength, and here's stamped off, and here's stamped off one more time. So you can pick the background you like the best. And then, let's see, I think this lines up kind of like that. And the stamp, the background stamp, is actually a little bit larger than the foreground stamp. So you can kind of line it up just around, see, like that. You can kind of see around it and then just go down. And see, then when you cut it out, it's going to eliminate some of this, but it's pretty cool. Let's try this one. Yeah. And here's this one. Of course, it's easier for you to line up than me because I have that camera in my way, but you can see they line up very nicely. And then you would just take the dies, and which I have misplaced now, but then you would just cut them out, or you could just fussy cut them out. It's not that difficult to fussy cut these images. They're pretty easy. So now you have a choice of 2 ways to make this card. This one or this one. Which one do you like the best? You could let me know. Anyway, hope you've enjoyed making this card with me. And if you did, perhaps you could give us a thumbs up, or maybe even subscribe to our channel, and come back next time, which should be early next week, maybe probably very late on Tuesday or early Wednesday morning. Anyway, if you'd like to purchase anything, you can do so at marciascrafts.stampinup.net. And We'd love to have your business. Hope you have a great weekend. See you next time. Bye-bye.